Yeah, I think I could work with this. I'm a little pasty, a little bit red, a little flush, but yeah, I can work with this. Maybe some better paint on the walls and some new pictures. Okay, so this one's gonna be a little bit different today. A little bit different mood, which I'll explain in a minute. But I wanted to tell you, this is number 50. I've got 50 vlogs under my belt, and I'm stoked for that. And I had this big plan to do this great video about 50 things, but life gets in the way sometimes, and we have to change our perspective. This past weekend we had a pretty traumatic event happen. My stepfather, my mom's husband, was killed in an accident. He was walking across the street here in Long Beach, and he was struck by a car at 10:30 at night, Saturday evening. Killed on impact, and we've been in this turmoil ever since. Okay, turmoil is probably a bit strong. We've been dealing with the situation ever since, and ups and downs. Pretty heavy situation, of course, and we're managing, but I didn't feel like doing a regular vlog was a good idea. That's why I didn't post one on Monday, and coming on here and doing a, hey, guess what, it's my 50th, and being all celebratory felt weird. This is my 50th vlog. It's not what I intended, but this is what we're gonna do because I think this is important. In light of this extremely tragic event, it is, of course, very difficult to maintain a positive mental attitude. You're overwhelmed with feelings of grief and doubt and regret. It can be tough sometimes, but it doesn't mean we still don't try. It doesn't mean we still don't keep living. It's tougher. It's tougher to go. It's tougher to make stuff happen. We still gotta make it happen. I've spent the better part of the last 4 days trying to figure out what to do next, and don't always have the answer. The best thing that I can do right now is to be the rock that I am known to be in these situations for my family, friends, and whatnot. I've kind of checked out on social media. I haven't really been around very much. I'm sure some people are starting to notice. I obviously haven't been here, and you know what? That's just the way it's gotta be sometimes. The world still goes on. Time still moves. Planet still spins. At some point, we're gonna have to hop back on the ride. So I keep thinking about John, my stepfather, what he would want in this situation. He was a pretty reserved man, but he enjoyed a good life. He tried to have a good life. He enjoyed singing. He liked wine. He liked good food. He embraced his Italian heritage, and so he would want us to be doing the same thing. Not necessarily embracing our Italian heritage, because I'm not Italian, but you know what I mean. He would want us to be living our life. He would want us to be doing the things that we would normally do. He would want us to spend our time together appreciating what we already have and living it to the fullest. At least that's what I hope he would be thinking. Trying a new setup here because I don't look pasty enough as it is. So the other day I was watching ESPN SportsCenter just for a little bit, and there was this bumper in between the commercials talking about why you should be watching ESPN SportsCenter, and it said this: "End every day on a highlight." Now they were talking about make sure you watch SportsCenter as the last thing you do every day. But the obvious double entendre is there, that you are meant to end every single day with the best possible moment you can. We've talked about this idea in the past that you're gonna die, I'm gonna die, we're all gonna die. So why wouldn't we live our lives as if this moment was the last moment We will never know whether John had any regrets. We don't know whether John was regretful about his life or whether he felt like he could easily go at peace. We will never know that. The only thing we know is how we feel about a particular situation and what are we gonna do about it now that it's done. Every single day, you have 24 hours to make the most of your life, to make that highlight happen. We all have different levels at what we achieve things at. We all have different skills. We all have different talents. But the one thing that we all have equally is time. I have 24 hours. You have 24 hours. Everybody has 24 hours in a given day to make something happen. Yet so many of us, including myself, don't use those 24 hours efficiently. We are not making the most of our opportunity. And although I've taken a break for the last 4 days, 5 days, to reflect, and maybe that isn't the most productive use of my time, it does make me think, how am I going to take this opportunity and make something out of it? How am I going to take this tragedy and turn this into something positive for myself, for my family, and my friends, for you, trying to get the fingers in. This could be a very solemn moment, right? This could be a very sad situation. We can treat it that way, or we can treat it as a learning opportunity. We can treat it as an opportunity to have fun and be entertained and enjoy the lives that we have with other people. I'm gonna be surrounded by family and friends very shortly. I can choose to be sad with them, or I can choose to embrace that opportunity as a once-in-a-lifetime moment where we all get together to commiserate on the idea of a man who I feel lived a pretty decent life, and then go out and do the things that we would hope that John would want for us. He may not have said that before that moment, but if I could speak to him now, I'm sure that he would say, take this opportunity and do the things that are important. Spend more time with my son, spend more time with my family, spend more time working hard to get to the place that I need to get for this to all matter, to me and to you. It would be really easy for me to wallow. It would be really easy for me to disappear. Almost too easy for me to completely disappear and blame it all on this tragedy. But I can't do that. In order to keep myself out of that hole, I have to turn it around, I have to take this moment, and I have to say, what can I do today? What can I do right now that's gonna get me further along? What can I do today that is gonna make this day the best day of my life? Because I don't know if this is my last day on earth or not. Could very well be. And so how do I make the most out of what I've got right here, right now? What are you gonna do to make the most out of what you've got right here, right now? And before you go and just think it in your head, this is what I'd like you to do. Whether you're making a declaration in the comments, or whether you're making a declaration on your blog or your Facebook page, or just to somebody else beyond yourself and maybe your wife, shout it out to somebody that the declaration you're gonna make about the next steps of your life, about making the highlight out of every opportunity, and share that with the world and make them hold you accountable to that. Just like I'm asking you to hold me accountable to whatever it is that I decide is the most important thing I can do next. And the most important thing I know that I can do next is to show up and be here for you guys and not let tragedy keep me from doing what I have already pledged to do. We all loved and adored John, very much so. But I know for a fact, as hard a worker as he was, he would be very upset if we just sat on our ass. So, let's go get to work. That's it for this one, folks. Remember, if you like this, do me a favor, heart it up. And if you enjoy some of these other videos, subscribe. And share this one with somebody who probably needs that little bit of a kick in the pants. If you know somebody who's been dealing with their own personal tragedy, maybe, send them over here to watch this, and hopefully we can have the one-on-one with them and encourage them to make that next highlight film. One last thing before I go, folks, this is not an obligation, but I do want to give a shout out because I think this is important. I am going to include a link to our GoFundMe account. We have started a fundraiser for my mom to help pay for all of the things that are going on with this whole thing. It's a big, long story, but basically she's not in the best financial situation for this. So if you feel inclined to help out, please do so. You can find that right here, and I will leave that in the description as well. Thanks a lot, folks. Remember, I love you very much, and I appreciate and I am grateful for all of the people who have given the shout outs and all of those who have contributed so far and all of the people that have come to me and with the kind words and tidings and whatnot. So I appreciate everybody, but especially the ones who have reached out for me. So thank you very much. Me and my family, we adore and love every single one of you. Thank you. Remember, be good today, be even better tomorrow. See ya.
Two walk like two out the door, then you have magic. One comes around, one today. They don't say things the same. Two walk like two out the door, then you have magic.